Company of the Women with their production of Goodmaster William Shakespeare's production of Richard III.
Made glorious summer by the sun of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now our brows bound victorious breathe, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, grim-visaged war has smoothed his wrinkled front, and now instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber, lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I will not shake for sportive tricks, had no delight to pass away the time unless to spy my shadow in the sun and descant mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence be closely mewed up about a prophecy which says that Jean, of Edward's heirs, the murderer shall be. Die thoughts down to my soul, if Clarence comes. Brother, good day, what means this armed guard that waits upon your grace?
His Majesty, tendering my person's safety, hath appointed this conduct to convey me to the Tower.
Upon what cause?
Because my name is George.
Alack, my lord, the fault is none of yours. He should for that commit your godfathers. Oh, but like his Majesty has some intent that you should be new christened in the Tower. What is the matter, Clarence, may I know?
Yea, Richard, when I know, for I protested, yet I do not. But as I can learn, he hearkens after prophecies and dreams, and from the crossroad plucks the letter G, and says a wizard told him that by G his issue disinherited should be, and for my name of George begins with G, it follows in his thought that I am he. These, as I learn, and such like toys as these, have no Highness given me now.
Well, this is it when men are ruled by women. 'Tis not the king that sends you to the Tower, my Lady Grey, his wife, Clarence, 'tis she that tempts him to this harsh extremity. We are not safe, Clarence, we are not safe. I'll tell you what, I think it is in our favor to keep with the king, to be her man and wear her livery.
I beseech your graces both to pardon me. His Majesty has straitly given in charge that no man shall have private conference of what degree soever with his brother.
Even so, and please your worship, reck and breed, you may partake of anything we say. We speak no treason, man. We say the king is wise and virtuous, and his noble queen well struck in years. Fair and not jealous, how say you, sir? Can you deny all this?
With this, my lord, myself have not to do. I beseech your grace to pardon me, with all forbear your conference with the noble duke. We know thy charge, Brackenbury, and will obey.
We are the queen's abjects. We must obey. Brother, farewell. I will unto the king. Meantime, this deep disgrace and brotherhood touches me deeper than you can imagine.
I know it pleaseth neither of us well.
Well, your imprisonment shall not be long. Meantime, farewell. Go, tread the path where thou shalt ne'er return. Oh, simple, plain Clarence, I love thee so that I shall shortly send thy soul to heaven. If heaven will take the present at our hand, I'll in to urge the hatred drawn to Clarence, which done, God take King Edward to his mercy and leave the world for me to bustling. But then I'll marry Warwick's youngest daughter. What? Though I kill her husband and her father, the readiest way to make the wench amends is to become her husband and her father. The which will I, well, not so much for love as for another secret close intent which I must reach unto, but yet I run before my horse to market. Clarence still breathes, Edward still lives and reigns. When they are gone, then must I count my days.
What black magician conjures up this fiend to stop devoted charitable deeds? Avaunt, thou dreadful minister of hell.
Sweet saint, for charity be not so cursed.
Foul devil, for God's sake, hence and trouble us not. For thou hast made the happy of thy hell filled with casting cries and deep exclaims, if thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butchery.
Lady, you know no rules of charity which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, that thou knowest no law of God nor man. Your beast so fierce, and there's some touch of peace.
But I know none, therefore I am no beast.
Ah, wonderful when devils tell the truth.
More wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe divine perfection of a woman that be superb supposed crimes to give me leave by circumstance, but to acquit myself.
Vouchsafe diffused infection of a man for these known evils, but to give me leave by circumstance to cast thy cursed self.
A fairer than tongue can name me, let me have some patient leisure to excuse myself.
Fouler than heart can think thee, thou canst make no excuse current but to hang thyself.
By such despair I should accuse myself.
And by despair should thou stand excuse for doing worthy vengeance for thyself that did so worthy slaughter upon others.
I did not kill your husband.
Oh, why then he is alive!
Nay, he is dead and slain by Edward's hand.
In thy foul throat thou liest. Didst thou not kill this king?
I grant ye.
Disgrant me, hedgehog! Then God may grant me too that makes me damned for that wicked deed. He was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
The fitter for the King of heaven that hath him.
He is in heaven where thou shalt never come.
Let him thank me that hope to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth.
And thou unfit for any place but hell.
Guess one place else we will hear me name it.
Some dungeon.
Your bedchamber.
Ill rest betide the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, till I lie with you?
I hope so.
I know so, but, gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen encounter of our wits and to fall somewhat into a slower method is not the causer of the timeless deaths of these Plantagenets. Henry and Edward as blameful as the executioner.
Thou art the cause and most accursed effect.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty which did haunt me in my sleep to undertake the death of all the world, so I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee upon the side, these nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes could never endure sweet beauty's breath. You should not blemish them as I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that it is my day, my life.
Black night, or shade your day, death your life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature, for thou art both.
I would be revenged on thee.
It is a quarrel most unnatural to be revenged on him that loveth.
It is a quarrel just and reasonable to be revenged on him that slew my husband.
Keep up a refuge, lady, of thy husband, which is to help thee to a better husband.
Whose better does not breathe upon the earth?
He lives that loves thee better than he could.
Name him.
Plantagenet.
Why, that was he.
The self-same name, but one of better nature.
And where is he?
Here. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake.
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Never hung poison on so foul a toad. Out of my sight, thou dost infect my eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
They were basilisks to strike thee dead.
I would they were that I might die at once, for now they kill me with a living death. If my revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, here I lend thee this sharp-pointed sword, which, if thou please to hide in this true bosom, and let the soul forth that adoreth thee, I lay naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Nay, do not pause, for I did kill King Henry, but 'twas thy beauty that provoked me. Nay, now dispatch, 'twas I that stabbed young Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that set me on. Take up the sword again, or take up me.
Arise, dissembler. I wish thy death I will not be the executioner.
They bid me kill myself, and I will do
I
it.
have already.
That was in thy rage. Speak it again, and with a word, this hand, which for thy love did kill thy love, shall for thy love kill a far truer love. To both their deaths thou shalt be accessory.
And what renew thy heart?
To speak it in my tongue.
Well, put up your sword.
Say that my peace is made.
That shall you know hereafter.
But shall I live in hope?
All men, I hope, live so.
Vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
Look how my ring encompasseth my finger. Even so thy breast encloseth my poor heart. Wear both of them, for both of them are thine. Give me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve. Yet since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell already.
Was ever woman in this humor wooed? Was ever woman in this humor won? I'll have her, but I'll not keep her long. But soft, here come my executioners. How now, my hearty stout resolve in making you going now to dispatch this deed?
We are, my noble lord, and come to have the warrant that we may be admitted where he is.
Well thought upon, I have it here about me. But, sirs, be sudden with the execution with all of dirt. Do not hear him plead, for Clarence is well spoken often, and perhaps may move your hearts to pity if you mark it.
Fear not, my lord, we will not stand to prate. Talkers are no good doers. Be assured we come to use our hands and not our tongues.
Your eyes drop millstones and fools' eyes drop tears. I like you lads, about your business straight. Go dispatch.
We will, we noble lord. I look so grey, so heavy today.
Oh, I have passed a miserable night, so full of ugly sights and ghastly dreams, that as I am a Christian faithful man, I would not spend another such a night, though it were to buy a world of happy days. So full of dismal terror was the tide.
No marvel, my lord, though it frightens you. I promise I am afraid to hear you tell it.
Oh, Brackenbury, I have done those things which now bear evidence against my soul for Edward's sake, and see how he requites me. Oh God, if my deep prayers cannot appease thee, but thou wilt be avenged on my misdeeds, I pray thee, gentle keeper, stay by me. My soul is heavy, and I fain would sleep.
I will, my lord. God grant your grace good rest. Sorrow breaks seasons and reposing hours, makes the night morning and the noontide night. Princes have but their tides for their glories, and outward honor for an inward toil. And fine felt imagination, they often feel the world of restless cares, so that betwixt their tides and low names, there's nothing differs but the outward fame. Ah! Who's there? In God's name, what are you and how came you hither?
I would speak with Clarence, and I came hither on my legs.
Yea, are you so brief?
Oh, sir, 'tis fair to be brief than tedious. Go on, show him our commission. Talk no more.
I am, in this, commanded to deliver the noble Duke of Clarence to your hands. I will not reason what is meant hereby, because I will be guiltless of the meaning. Here are the keys. There sits the Duke asleep. All to the king, and signify to him that thus I have resigned my charge to you.
Do so, it is a point of wisdom. Fare you well.
What, shall we stab him as he sleeps?
No, then he will say 'twas done cowardly when he wakes.
When he wakes, why, boy, he shall never wake till the judgment day.
Why, then he will say we stabbed him sleeping.
The urging of that word, judgment, hath bred a kind of remorse in me.
What, art thou afraid?
Not to kill him, having a warrant for it, but to be damned for killing him, from which no warrant can defend us.
I thought thou hadst been resolute.
So I am, to let him live.
Back to the Duke of Gloucester, tell him so.
I'll pray thee, stay a while. I hope my holy humour will change.
How dost thou feel thyself now?
Ah, faith, there's still some dregs of conscience yet within me.
Remember our reward when the deed is done.
Ah, zoons, I forgot the reward.
Where lies thy conscience now?
In the Duke of Gloucester's purse.
So when he opens his purse to give us our reward, thy conscience flies out.
Come, shall we to this gear?
Pakisters!
Where art thou, keeper? Give me a cup of wine.
These
Oh,
shall there be wine enough, my lord. My lord.
in God's name, what art thou?
A man, as you are.
Not as I am royal.
No, you, as we are. Loyal.
Thy voice is thunder, but thy looks are humble.
My voice is now the king's. My looks mine own.
Who sent you hither? Wherefore do you come? To murder me?
Aye, aye.
Wherein? Friends, have I offended you?
Offended us you have not, but the king.
I shall be reconciled to him again.
Oh, never, my lord. Ever prepared to die.
Are you called forth from out a world of men to slay the innocent? What was my offence? Where Who shall reward you better for my life than Edward will for tidings of my death?
Oh, you are deceived. Your brother Gloucester hates you.
It is he that sends us to destroy you here.
It cannot be, for when I parted with him, he hugged me in his arms and swore with sobs that he would labor my delivery.
Why, so he doth. Now he seeks to deliver thee from this world's thraldom to the joys of heaven.
Make peace with God, for you must die, my lord.
My friend, I spy some pity in thy looks. Oh, if thine eye be not flatterer, come thou on my side and entreat with ease. You would make were you in my distress. A begging prince, what beggar pities not. My lord, my lord.
Take that! And that! And if all this will not do, I'll trap you in the mountain gun within.
A bloody deed and desperately dispatched.
Have patience, madam. There's no doubt His Majesty will soon recover his accustomed health. Therefore, for God's sake, entertain good comfort and cheer his grace with quick and merry words.
If he were dead, what would betide of me?
No other loss but loss of such a lord.
The loss of such a lord includes all harm.
The heavens have graced you with a goodly son to be your comforter when he is gone.
Oh, he is young, and his minority is put unto the trust of Richard Gloucester, a man that loves not me.
Is it concluded that he shall be protector?
It is determined, not concluded yet, but so it must be.
And in good time, here comes the gracious Duke.
Good morrow to my sovereign queen and princely peers. A happy time of day. If any hear by false intelligence or wrong surmise, hold me a foe. If I unwittingly or in my rage have aught committed that is hardly borne, by any in his presence I desire to reconcile me to his friendly peace. And 'tis death to me to be at enmity. I hate and desire all good men's love. First, madam, I will entreat true peace of you, which I will purchase with my duteous service.
A holy day! Shall this be kept hereafter? I would to God all strifes were well compounded. I do beseech my sovereign liege to take our brother Clarence to our king.
Why have I often loved for this to be so flouted in this royal presence? Who knows now that the noble Duke is dead? Or do him injury to scorn his cause?
All-seeing heaven, what a world is this?
Is Clarence dead? The order was reversed.
When he, poor soul, by the king's order died, let a winged Mercury did bear. Some tardy cripple bore the counterman that came to land to see him buried.
Oh,
Marked you not how the queen looked pale when she did hear of Clarence's death? When she did urge it still unto the king, well, God will revenge it. But come, let us in to comfort Edward with our company.
We wait upon your grace.
oh, Clarence, my unhappy son! Richard is my son, yea, and therein my shame. Yet from my dog's eye he drew not to this deceit. Hark, what noise is this? Oh, who shall hinder me to wail and weep, to chide my fortune and torment myself? I'll join with black despair against my soul, and to myself become an enemy. What means the scene of rude impatience? To make an act of tragic violence. Edward, my lord, your son, our king, is dead. Oh. I have bewept a worthy husband's death and lived by looking on his images. But now two mirrors of his princely semblance are cracked in pieces by malignant death, and I for comfort have but one false glass, which grieves me when I see my shame in him. Thou art a widow, yet thou art a mother, and hast the comfort of thy children left thee. But death hath snatched my husband from mine arms, and plucked two crutches from my feeble limbs. Edward and Clarence, oh, what cause have I, thine being but a moiety of my grief, to go, thy plaints and drown thy cry. Oh, for my husband, for my dear Lord Edward. Alas, for both mine, Edward and Clarence. What stay had I but Edward, and he's gone? What stays had I but they are gone? Was never widow had so dear a loss? Never mother had so dear a loss. Alas, I am the mother of these griefs!
Still, have comfort. All of us have cause to wear the dimming of our shining star, but none can cure the harm by wailing them. Madam, my mother, I do cry you mercy. Humbly on my knee, I crave your blessing.
God bless thee, and put meekness in thy mind, love, charity, obedience, and true duty.
Amen. You may make me die a good old man. It is the butt end of a mother's blessing. I marvel why her grace did leave it out.
You cloudy princes and heart-sorrowing pairs that share this heavy mutual load of moan, now cheer each other with each other's love. Though we have spent our harvest of this king, we are to reap the harvest of his son. Forthwith from Ludlow the young prince be fetched hither to London to be crowned our king.
I long with all my heart to see the prince. I hope he is much grown since I last saw him.
Sister, and you, my mother, will you go to give your censure in this weighty business?
My lord, whoever journeys to the prince, for God's sake, let not us two be behind. For by the way, our soul's occasion as index to the story we late talked of, depart the queen's proud kindred from the king.
My other self, my counsel's concentrate, my oracle, my prophet, my dear cousin, I, like a child, will go by thy direction. Towards Ludlow, then, but will not stay behind.
Welcome, sweet prince, to London, to your chamber.
Welcome, dear cousin, my thoughts sovereign. Oh, the weary way hath made you melancholy.
No, uncle, but our crosses on the way have made it tedious, wearisome, and heavy. I want more uncles here to welcome me.
Sweet prince, the untainted virtue of your years hath not yet dived into the world's deceit. No more can you distinguish of a man than of his outward show, which God he knows seldom ever jumpeth to the heart. The uncle which you want was dangerous. Your grace attended to his sugared words, but looked not on the poison of his heart. God keep you from him and from such false friends.
God keep me from false friends, but he was none. I thought my mother and my brother York would long ere this have met us on the way.
On what occasion? God he knows, not I. The queen your mother and your brother York have taken sanctuary. The tender prince would fain have come with me to meet your grace, but by his mother was perforce repelled.
Persuade the queen to send the Duke of York into his princely brother presently, if she deny. From her jealous arms pluck him forth.
I go, my lord.
Say, Uncle Gloucester, if our brother come, where shall we sojourn till our coronation?
Where seems best unto your royal self, if I may counsel you some day or two. Your highness shall repose you in the tower. Then where you please and shall be thought most fit for your best health and recreation.
I do not like the tower of any place.
Knowing the time, here comes the noble Lord of York.
Richard of York!
How fares our loving brother?
Oh, well, my dread lord, so must I call you now.
Aye, brother, much to our grief as it is yours. Too late he died that might have kept that title, which by his death hath lost much majesty.
How fares our cousin the noble Lord of York?
I thank you, gentle uncle. Oh, my lord, you said that idle weeds are fast and growth. The prince, my brother, hath outgrown me, sir.
He hath, my lord.
Therefore is he idle.
Oh, my dear cousin, I must not say so.
Then is he more beholding to you than I.
He may command me as my sovereign, but you have power in me as in a kinsman.
My lord of York will still be cross in talk. Uncle, your grace knows how to bear with him.
You mean to bear me, not to bear with me. Uncle, my brother mocks both you and me, because the time little, he thinks you should bear me on your shoulders.
With what a sharp providing witty reasons. To mitigate the scorn he gives his uncle, he prettily and aptly taunts himself. So cunning and so young is wonderful.
My lord, will it please you pass along myself and my good cousin Buckingham will to your mother to meet you at the tower and to welcome you.
What will you go into the tower, my lord?
My lord protector needs will have it so.
I shall not sleep in quiet at the tower.
Why? What should you fear?
Marry, my uncle Clarence angry ghost. My granddad told me he was murdered there.
I fear no uncle's dead.
Nor none living, I hope.
And if they live, I hope I need not fear. But come, my lord, and with a heavy heart, thinking on them, I go to the tower.
Think you, my lord, this little prating York was thus incensed by his subtle mother to taunt and scorn you so opprobriously?
No doubt, it is a harmless boy, full, quick, ingenious, forward, capable. He is all his mother's from top to toe.
Well, let them rest. Now, my lord, what shall we do if we perceive Lord Hastings will not yield to our complots?
Chop off his head, man, somewhat we will do. And look, when I am king, claim thou me the earldom of heaven, and the movables whereof my brother the king stood possessed.
I'll claim that promise at your grace's hands.
And look to have it yielded with all willingness. In further bastardry of Edward's children, moreover, urge the hateful luxury and bestial appetite and tainted lust.
Fear not, my lord. I'll play the orators of the golden fee for which I plead before myself. Thou play the maid's part. So answer nay, and take it. I'll bid them that did love their country's good cry, God save Richard, England's royal king.
Now will I end to give order that no manner of person at any time have recourse unto the princes.
Who meets us here? Now for my life she's wandering to the tower of pure heart's love to greet the tender princess. Daughter, well met.
God give your graces both a happy and a joyful time of day.
As much to you, good sister. Whither away?
No further than the tower, and as I guess upon the like devotion as yourselves, to congratulate the gentle princess there.
Kind sister, thanks. We'll enter all together. How doth the prince and my young son of yours?
Right well, dear madam. By your patience, I may not suffer you to visit them. The king has straightly charged the contrary.
The king? Why, who's that?
Cry your mercy, I mean the Lord Protector.
The Lord protect him from that kingly title. Hath he set bounds betwixt their love and me? I am their mother. Who should keep me from them?
I am their father's mother. I will see them.
Their aunt I am Lord and love, their mother then take me to their sights, I'll take their office from me and bear thy blame upon my peril.
No, madam, no. I may not leave it so. I am bound by oath, and therefore pardon me. Come, madam. We're straight to Westminster, there to be crowned Richard's royal queen.
Oh, cut my lace in sunder that my pent heart may have some stone to beat, or else I swoon with this death-killing news.
Oh, despiteful tidings! Oh, unpleasing news! I, in all unwillingness, will go. I would to God that the inclusive badge of golden metal that must round my brow were red-hot steel to steer me to the brain. Anointed let me be with deadly venom and die, ere men can say, God save the queen.
Go, go, poor soul, I envy not thy glory to feed my humour. Wish thyself no harm.
No! Why? When he that is my husband now came to me as I followed Henry's course, so when I say I looked on Richard's face, this was my wish. Be thou, quoth I, accursed for making me so young, so old a widow, as miserable by the life of thee as thou hast made me by my dear lord's death, and lo, ere I can repeat this curse again, even in so short a space, my woman's heart grossly grew captive to his honey words, and proved the subject of my own soul's curse, which ever since I've kept mine eyes from rest for never yet 1 hour in his bed have I enjoyed the golden dew of sleep, but have been waked by his timorous dreams. Besides, he hates me for my father Warwick, and will no doubt shortly be rid of me.
Poor heart, Jew, I pity thy complaining.
No more than from my soul I mourn for yours.
Farewell, thou woeful welcomer of glory.
Adieu, poor soul that takes thy leave of it.
Go thou to Richard, and good angels guard thee. Go thou to sanctuary, and good thoughts possess thee. I, to my grave, where rest and peace lie with me. Stay, yet look back with me unto the tower. Pity you ancient stones, those tender babes whom envy hath immured within your walls. Rough cradle for such little pretty ones. Rude ragged nurse, old sullen playfellow for such tender princes, use my babies well. So foolish sorrow bids your stones farewell.
Cousin of Buckingham,
My gracious sovereign!
thus high by thy advice and thy assistance is King Richard seated. But shall we buy these honours for a day, or shall they last and we rejoice in them?
Still live they, and forever may they last.
Buckingham, now do I play the touch. Young Edward lives, think now what I would say.
Say on, my loving lord.
By Buckingham, I say I would be king.
Why, sir, you are my thrice renowned liege.
Am I king? 'Tis so, but Edward lives.
True, noble prince.
Cousin, thou would want not to be so dull. Shall I be plain? I wish the bastard's dead, and I would have it suddenly performed. What sayest thou? Speak suddenly, be free.
Your grace may do your pleasure.
Tut, thou dull eye, sir. say, do I have thy consent that they shall die?
Give me some breath. Some little pause, my lord, before I positively herein. I will resolve the grace immediately.
High-reaching Buckingham grows circumspect. I know a discontented gentleman whose humble means match not his haughty mind. His name is Tyrrell, and I have sent for him. This deep revolving witty Buckingham no more should be the neighbour to my counsel. Had he so long, how thou would be untied and stops he now for breath? How now, what news?
My lord, I hear the Marquis of Dorset's fled to Richmond and those parts beyond the sea where he abides.
Rumour it abroad that Anne, my wife, is very grievous sick. It will take order for our keeping close. I say again, give out. That Anne, my wife, is sick and like to die about it, but sad me much upon to stop all hopes and growth with damage. Marry my brother's daughter, else my kingdom stands on brittle glass. Murder her brothers, and then marry her, uncertain way of gain. But I am in so far in blood that sin will pluck on sin. Tear falling pity dwells not in this eye. Is thy name Tyrrell?
James Tyrrell, and your most obedient subject.
Art thou indeed?
Prove me, my gracious sovereign.
Darest thou resolve to kill a friend of mine?
Aye, my lord, but I had rather kill 2 enemies.
And that thou hast 2 deep enemies, Tyrrell, I mean those bastards in the tower.
Let me have open means to come to them, and soon I'll rid you from the fear of them.
Oh, thou singest sweet music. Hark, come hither, Tyrrell, go by this token rise and then thy... There is no more but so. Say it is done, and I will love thee and prefer thee too.
'Tis done, my gracious lord.
But shall we hear from thee, Tyrrell, I will speak?
You shall, my lord.
My lord, I have considered in my mind the late demand that you did sound me in.
Well, let that pass. Dorset is fled to Richmond.
I hear that news, my lord. My lord, I claim your gift, my due by promise, for which your honour and your faith is pawned, the earldom of Hereford and the movables. That which you promised I should possess? What says your grace to my just demand?
As I remember, Henry VI did prophesy that Richmond should be king when Richmond was a little peevish boy, a king perhaps.
My lord.
How chance the prophet could not at that time have told me, I being by, that I should kill him.
My lord, your promise for the elder.
Richmond, the last time I was at Exeter, the mayor in courtesy showed me the castle and called it Richmond, which name I started because a bard of Ireland told me I should not live long after I saw Richmond.
My lord!
Aye, what's o'clock?
I am thus bold to put your grace in mind of what you promised me.
Aye, but what's o'clock?
Upon the stroke of 10.
Well, let it strike.
Why let it strike?
Because that's like a jack, thou keeps the stroke betwixt thy begging and my meditation. I am not in the giving vein today.
Well then resolve me whether you will.
Ah, thou troublest me, I am not in the vein.
Is it even so? Rewards he my true service with such deep contempt made I him king? This. Oh, let me think and be gone to Brecknick while my fearful hangs on.
Tyrannous and bloody deed is done. The most arch and piteous massacre that ever yet this land was guilty of. Dighton and Forest, whom I did so burn, to do this ruthless piece of butchery, though they were flesh villains, bloody dogs, melting with tenderness and kind compassion, wept like 2 children in their death's sad stories. Though thus, quoth Dighton, lay those tender babes, thus, quoth Forest, girdling one another within their innocent alabaster arms. Their lips were 4 red roses on a stalk, which in their summer beauty kissed each other. A book of prayers on their pillow lay, which once, quoth Forest, almost changed my mind. But oh, the devil there the villain stalk was Dighton thus told on. We smothered the most replenished sweet work of nature that from the prime creation there she framed. And thus they were gone with conscience and remorse, they could not speak. And so I left them both to bring this tidings to the bloody king. And here he comes, all hail my sovereign liege.
Hi, Tyrrell, am I happy in thy news?
If you have done the thing you gave in charge, beget your happiness, be happy then, for it is done, my lord.
But didst thou see them dead?
I did, my lord.
And buried, gentle Tyrrell.
The chaplain of the tower hath buried them, but how or in what place I do not know.
Come to me, Tyrrell, soon at after supper, and thou shalt tell me the process of their death. Meantime, but think how I may do thee good, and be inheritor of thy desire. Meantime, till soon. The sons of Edward sleep in Abraham's bosom, and Anne, my wife, hath bid the world good night. Now, for I know the Breton Richmond aims at young Elizabeth, my brother's daughter, and by that knot looks proudly o'er the crowd. To her I go, a jolly thriving mover.
My lord!
Good news or bad thou comest in so bloodily?
Bad news, my lord. Ely's fled to Richmond, and Buckingham, backed with the hardy Welshman, is in the field, and still his power increasing.
Ely with Richmond troubles me more near than Buckingham and his rash levied army. Come, must amend my counsel
such a deed was done.
Dead, life blind, sight poor, mortal living ghost, woe, seen, world, shame, graves due, by life usurped, brief abstract and record of tedious days, rest thy unrest on England's lawful earth, unlawfully made drunk with innocent blood.
That thou couldst as well afford a grave as thou canst yield a melancholy seat, then would I hide my bones, not rest them here.
Go with me, and in the breath of bitter woods, let smother my damned son, which thy two sweet sons smothered. I hear his drum, beat copious and exclaims.
Who intercepts my expedition?
Oh, she that might have intercepted thee by strangling thee in her accursed wound from all the slaughters, wretch that thou hast done.
Hidest thou that forehead with a golden crown, where should be graven, if that right were right, the slaughter of the prince that owed that crown, and the dying deaths of my two sons and brothers? Tell me now, villain, where are my children?
Now, where is thy brother Clarence?
A flourished trumpet, strike a long drum. Either be patient and entreat me fair, or with the clamorous report of war, thus will I drown your explanation.
Art thou my son?
I thank God, my father, and yourself.
Then patiently hear my impatience.
Madam, I have a touch of your condition which cannot brook the accent of reproof.
Oh, let me speak.
Do then, but I'll not hear.
I will be mild and gentle in my speech.
And brief, good mother, for I am in haste.
Art thou so hasty? I have stayed for thee, God knows, in anguish, pain, and agony.
And came I not at last to comfort you?
I prithee hear me speak.
You speak too bitterly.
Hear me a word, for I shall never speak to thee again.
So,
Either thou wilt die by God's just ordinance ere from this war thou turn a conqueror, or I with grief in extreme age shall perish, and never more behold thy face again. Therefore take with thee my most grievous curse, that in the day of battle tire thee more than all the complete armor that thou wearest. My prayers on the adverse party fight, and there the little souls of Edward's children whisper the spirits of thine enemies, and promise them success and victory. Bloody thou art, bloody shall be thy end. Shame serve thy life, and doth thy death attend.
stay, madam. I must speak a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to murder. As for my daughters, Richard, they shall be praying nuns, not weeping queens. Therefore level not to hit their lives.
You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
And must she die for this? Oh, let her live, and I'll corrupt her manners, stain her beauty. I will confess she was not Edward's daughter.
Wrong not her birth, she is of royal blood.
To save her life, I'll say she is not so.
Her life is only safest in her birth.
And only in that safety died her brothers.
You speak as if I had slain my cousins.
Cousins, indeed, and by their uncle cousined, of comfort, kingdom, kindred, freedom, life. Whose hand soever lanced their tender hearts, thy head all indirectly gave direction. No doubt the murderous knife was dull and blunt, till it was whetted on thy stone-hard heart to revel in the entrails of my lambs. And that still use of grief makes wild grief tame. My tongue should to thine ears not name my boys, till that my nails were anchored in thine eyes, and I in such a desperate bay of death, like a poor bark of sails and tackling reft, rushed all to pieces on thy rocky bosom.
Madam, so thrive I on my enterprise and dangerous success of bloody wars, as I mean more good to you and yours, never you or yours will buy me wrong.
What good is covered by the face of heaven to be discovered that can do me good?
The advancement of your children, gentle lady.
After some scaffold there to lose their
No,
heads?
to the height and dignity of honor, the high imperial type of this us glory.
Be brief, lest that the process of thy kindness last longer telling than thy kindness date.
Then know for my soul I love thy daughter.
My daughter's mother thinks it with her
I
soul.
mean that with my soul I love thy daughter and mean to make her queen of England.
How canst thou woo her?
That's what I learned of you as one best acquainted with the viewers.
Oh, and wilt thou learn of me?
Madam, with all my heart.
Sent to her by the man that slew her brothers, a pair of bleeding
Edward and York, then haply will she weep. Therefore present to her a handkerchief, which say to her, did drain the purple sap from her sweet brother's body, and bid her dry her weeping eyes therewith, if these inducements force her not to love. Tell her a story of thy noble acts. Tell her how thou madest away her uncle Clarence, yea, and for her sake made quick conveyance of her good Aunt Anne.
Come, you mock me. This is not the way to win our daughter.
There is no other way, unless thou could put on some other shape than Richard that hath done all this.
Look, what is done cannot now be amended. If I did take the kingdom from your sons to make amends, I'll give it to your daughter. Go there, my mother, to thy daughter go. Make bold her bashful years with your experience. Prepare her ears to hear a wooer's tale.
What were I best to say, that her father's brother would be her lord? Or shall I say her uncle? Who he that slew her brothers and her uncles? Under what title shall I woo for thee? That God, the law, my honor, and her love may make seem pleasing to her tender years.
Say I will love her everlastingly.
But how long shall that title ever last?
Sweetly enforced into a fair life said.
But how long fairly shall her sweet life last?
So long as heaven and nature lengthens it.
So long as hell and Richard likes of
Your
it.
reasons are too shallow and too quick.
Oh no, my reasons are too deep and dead. Too deep and dead, poor infants in their graves.
Harp not on that string, Madeline's past.
Harp on it still shall I till heartstrings break.
Now by my George, my daughter, and my crown.
Profane, dishonored, and the third usurp.
I swear.
By nothing, for this is no oath. Swear then by something that thou hast not wronged.
Then by myself.
Thyself is self-misused.
Now by the world.
'Tis full of thy foul
My
wrongs.
father's dead.
Thy life hath it dishonored.
Why then by God.
God's wrong is most of all. What canst thou swear by now?
The time to come.
That thou hast wronged in the time or past. For I myself have many tears to wash hereafter time. For time past wronged by thee. Swear not by time to come.
Be opposite all planets of good luck to my proceeding, if with dear heart's love I tender not thy beauteous princely daughter. In her consists my happiness and thine. Without her follows to myself and thee, herself, the land, and many a Christian soul. Death, desolation, ruin, and decay. Therefore, dear mother, I must call you so. Be the attorney of my love to her. Plead what I will be, not what I have been, not my deserts, but what I will deserve. Urge the necessity and state of time, and be not peevish on your great design.
Shall I be tempted of the devil thus?
I have the devil tempt me to do good.
Shall I forget myself to be myself?
I, of your self-remembrance, wrong yourself.
But thou didst kill my children.
But in your daughter's womb I bury them, where in that nest of spicery they breed selves of themselves for your recompense.
Shall I go feed my daughter to thy will?
Be a happier mother by the deed.
I go. Write to me very shortly, and you shall understand from me her mind.
Bear her my true love's kiss. And so farewell. Relenting, cold, and shallow, changing woman. How now, what news with you?
My gracious sovereign, on the western coast rided the Puissant Navy to the shore from many doubtful, hollow-hearted friends, unarmed and unresolved to beat them back. 'Tis thought that Richmond is their admiral, and there they hull, expecting but the aid of Buckingham to welcome them ashore. The news I have to tell your majesty is that with sudden floods and fall of waters, Buckingham's army is dispersed and scattered. My liege, the Duke of Buckingham is taken. That is the best news, that the Earl of Richmond is with a mighty power landed at Milford to tell the tidings if they must be told.
Await at Salisbury, while we reason here, a royal battle may be won and lost. Someone take order that Buckingham be brought to Salisbury. All the rest march on with me.
Will not King Richard let me speak with him?
No, my good lord, therefore be patient.
This is All Souls' Day, fellow, is it not?
It is, my lord.
Why then All Souls' Day is my body's doomsday. This is the day which in King Edward's time I wished might fall on me when I was found false to his children or his wife's allies. This is the day wherein I wish to fall by the false faith of him I trusted most. This All Souls' Day is to my fearful soul the determined respite of my wrongs. And that I also, that I dallied with, have turned my faded prayer on my head and given in earnest what I begged in jest. Thus doth he teach the swords of wicked men to turn their points on their own masters' bosoms. Come, sirs, convey me to the block of shame. Wrong hath with wrong, and blame the due of blame.
Fellows in arms and my most loving friends, bruised underneath the yoke of tyranny, thus far into the bowels of the land have we marched on without impediment. The wretched, bloody, and usurping boar that spoiled your cedar fields and fruitful vines, swills your warm blood like drosh, and makes his trough in your emboweled bosoms. This foul swine lies now even in the center of this isle. In God's name, cheerly on, courageous friends, to reap the harvest of perpetual peace by this one bloody trial of sharp war, all for our vantage. Then in God's name march. True hope is swift and flies with swallows' wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings. You and I tonight here in Bosworth Fields, but where tomorrow? We're all's one for that. Who has described the number of our foes?
6,000 or 7,000 is the utmost power.
Why, a battalion trebles that account. Besides, the king's name is a tower of strength which they have the adverse party blocked. The weary sun hath made a golden set, and by the bright track of his fiery car gives signal of a goodly day tomorrow. Give me some ink and paper in my tent. I'll draw the form and model of our battle, limit each leader to his several charge and part in just proportion our small strength. Come, gentlemen, let us consult upon tomorrow's business into our tent.
What is the clock? It's not time. It's 9 o'clock.
I will not stop tonight. Give me some ink and paper as all my armor laid in my tent.
It is, my liege, and all things are in readiness.
Saddle awake, sorry for the field tomorrow. Look that my staves be sound and not too heavy. If I permit a knight to come to my tent and help to arm me, leave me, I say.
Fortune and victory sit on thy helm!
All comfort that the dark night can afford me to thy person, noble father-in-law. Tell me how fares our loving mother.
I, by eternity, bless thee from thy mother, who prays continually for Richmond's good. Oh, so much for that. The silent hour still on, and plaguey darkness breaks into the east. In brief, for so the season bids us be, prepare thy battle early in the morning, and put thy fortune to the arbitrament of bloody strokes and mortal staring war. I, as I may, that which I would I cannot, with best advantage will deceive the time, and aid thee in this doubtful shock of arms. God, give us leisure for these rites of love. Once more, adieu, be valiant and speed well.
Good lords, conduct him to his regiment. I'll strive with troubled thoughts to take a nap, lest leaden slumber pays me down tomorrow, when I should mount with wings of victory. Once more, good night. O thou, whose captain I account myself, look upon my forces with a gracious eye. Put in their hands thy bruising irons of wrath, that they may crush down with a heavy fall the usurping helmets of our adversaries. Make us thy ministers of chastisement, that we may praise thee in the victory. To thee I do commend my watchful soul, ere I let fall the windows of mine eyes. Sleeping and waking, oh, defend me still.
Let me sit heavy on thy soul tomorrow, I that was washed to death with fulsome wine, poor Clarence, by thy guile betrayed to death. Tomorrow in the battle, think on me, and fall thy edgeless sword, despair and die. Thou offspring of the house of Lancaster, the wronged heirs of York do pray for thee. Good angels guard thy battle, live and flourish.
Dream on thy cousin smothered in the tower. Let us be led within thy bosom, Richard, and weigh thee down to ruin, shame, and death. Thy nephew's souls bid thee despair and die.
Sleep, Richmond, sleep in peace.
race of kings. Edward's unhappy sons do bid thee flourish.
Richard, thy wife, that wretched and thy wife that never slept a quiet hour with thee, now fills thy sleep with perturbation. Tomorrow in the battle think on me. Let fall thy edgeless sword, despair, and die. Thou quiet soul, sleep thou a quiet sleep. Dream of success and happy victory. Thy adversary's wife doth fret for thee. The last was I that helped thee to the throne. The last was I that felt thy tyranny. For in the battle think on Buckingham, and fall in terror of thy guiltiness. Dream on of bloody deeds and death, fainting despair, and yield thy breath. I died for hope ere I could lend thee aid, but cheer thy heart and be thou not dismayed. God and good angels fight on Richmond's side, and Richard fall in height of all his pride.
Give me another horse. Bind up my wounds. Have mercy, Jesu! Oh, soft. Oh, I took a dream. Oh, coward conscience, how dost thou afflict me? Cold, fearful drops stand on my trembling flesh. What? Should I fear myself? There's none else by. Richard loves Richard. That is I am I. Is there a murderer here? No! Yes, I am. I'm a villain. Yet I lie, I am not. My conscience has 1,000 several tongues, and every tongue brings in a several tale, and every tale condemns me for a villain. Perjury in the highest degree. Oh, murder, step murder in the direst degree. All several sins, all used to each degree, throw them all to the bar, crying guilty, guilty. I shall despair. There is no creature loves me, and if I die, no soul shall pity me. Nay, wherefore should they, since that I myself find in myself no pity to myself? Who thought the souls of all that I had murdered did come to my tent, and everyone did threat tomorrow's vengeance on the head of Richard?
Good morrow, Richmond! How have you slept, my lord?
The sweetest sleep and fairest floating dreams that ever entered in a drowsy head have I since your departure had, my lord. Methinks their souls whose bodies Richard murdered came to my tent and cried on victory. I promise you my soul is very jocund in the remembrance of so fair a dream. How far into the morning is it, my lord?
Hold the stroke of 4.
Why then, 'tis time to arm and give direction. More than I have said, loving countrymen, the leisure and enforcement of the time forbids to dwell upon. Yet remember this, God and our good cause fight upon our side. For what is he they follow, truly, gentlemen? A bloody tyrant and a homicide, one raised in blood and one in blood established, one that made means to come by what he hath and slaughtered those that were the means to help him. A base, foul stone, made precious by the foil of England's chair, where he is falsely set. One that hath e'er been God's enemy. Then in the name of God advance your standards, draw your willing swords. For me the ransom of my bold attempt shall be this cold corpse on the earth's cold face. But if I thrive, the gain of my attempt, the least of you shall share his part thereof. Sound drums and trumpets, boldly and cheerfully. God and St. George, Richmond, and victory!
What's that no double that is touching Surrey?
But he was never trained up at all.
Oh, what's that Surrey about touching Richmond?
He smiled and said the better for our purpose.
He was in the right, and so indeed it is. A black day will be to somebody. Go, gentlemen, every man unto his charge. We've got our babbling dreams that fright our souls. Conscience is but a word that cowards use, devised at first to keep strong in awe. Our strong arms be our conscience, swords our law. What shall I say more than I have inferred? Remember whom you are to cope withal. sort of vagabond, rascals and runaways, a scum, a threatening face, lacking peasants whom the all-employed country vomits for, to desperate ventures and assured destruction. You sleeping safe, they bring to you unrest. Let's lift these stragglers o'er the seas again, lash hence these overweening rags. If we be conquered, let men conquer us and not these bastard Britons. Hark, I hear their drums. Fight, gentlemen of England, fight, bold yeomen, 1,000 hearts are great within my bosom. Advance our standards, set upon our foes, our ancient red of courage, bear St. George, inspire us in his fleet of fiery dragons. Upon them, victory sits on our heads!
England hath long been mad and scarred herself. The brother blindly shed the brother's blood. The father rashly slaughtered his own son. The son compelled been butchered to the sire. All this divided York and Lancaster. Oh, now, let Richmond and Elizabeth, the true succeeders of each royal house, by God's fair ordinance conjoin together, and let their heirs, God, if thy will be so, enrich the time to come with smooth feast peace, with smiling plenty and fair prosperous days. Now civil wounds are stopped, peace lives again, that she may long live here, God say amen.